Every so often, I come across people in comment sections asking how to get into Star Wars because there's just so much of it that they don't even know where to start. And on those comments, I always see replies from people saying their favorite way to watch Star Wars, and I think it's just really interesting on just how many different ways there are to watch Star Wars, especially when you include the shows and spin-offs. So today I thought I would just make a quick video and talk about some of the ways I've seen people talk about, and then talk about my preferred way of watching it, which is the best way, and all other ways are invalid and wrong. So let's talk about the release order, which I would say is the most common way. This is of course 4 to 6, 1 to 3, 7, Rogue One, 8, Solo, 9, and then you usually watch the shows. This is how most people suggest you watch it, and if you just care about the movies, yeah, it's a decent way to get caught up, and it's kinda how they were intended to be watched. However, it's not without its flaws. For one, it's out of order, which could be confusing for someone new. Also, you start with the best ones and never get that good again. The spin-offs also mess up the flow of the sequel trilogy, which would be kind of annoying. The shows aren't really a part of this, but people usually suggest you watch them just afterwards. The second most popular way is chronological, so 1, 2, The Clone Wars, 3, Solo, Rebels, Rogue One, 4 to 6, The Mandalorian, and then 7 to 9. And this is another valid way to watch them, as you get the full story in order. However, someone who hasn't seen them before would be spoiled, or they wouldn't understand things in the prequel era or the spin-offs. Those are pretty much based on knowing what's gonna happen, and you're not gonna understand if you don't know what's happening later. Star Wars is weird. Also, you have to finish with the sequel trilogy, which is not a great ending.
Rey Skywalker.
Personally, I think this is the best way to rewatch them because you've already seen them, so you already know what's going on. However, someone new shouldn't watch this way. A less popular one is the machete order, which is 4, 5, 2, 3, and then 6. I don't really like this order. The general idea behind it is to see 4 and 5, get a feel for Star Wars, and then see the I Am Your Father twist, and then go back and see the backstory before Return of the Jedi. But there's a few reasons why I don't like this way. For one, it's distracting to go from 5 to 2. Also, the shows and sequel trilogy aren't included. Say what you will about the sequel trilogy, but it should be included. But the big problem for me is that Phantom Menace is not included. I don't even like Phantom Menace. There's one good scene and that's about the only thing I like, but it deserves to be on this list, same with the sequel trilogy, and the shows and spin-offs. Supposedly removing all these things streamlines the stories, because it's not all that important to the overall plot, but I think that's kinda dumb, because it is still important, but without the shows and spin-offs, you miss a lot of cool side stories. And Rebels. However, the answer to the Phantom Menace problem was solved with the Rinstrom order, which adds Phantom Menace between 4 and 2. Other than that, it's exactly the same. I think this is slightly better, but the flow between the individual trilogies are still messed up, and there's still no sequel shows or spin-offs, but I mean, you can just watch them afterwards if you really want to. Same thing with the machete order, but I still don't like either of them. But that brings us to what I think is the ideal method to watch Star Wars in, for new people anyways. I mean, this order is fine for people who've already seen it, but for new people, personally, I think this is the ideal way. I think it's best to watch the mainline movies in release order. So 4 to 6, 1 to 3, then 7 to 9, and then go back and watch the other stuff, so shows and the anthology films, in chronological order. So then it's Clone Wars, Solo, Rebels, Rogue One, and then The Mandalorian. And then Resistance, but I don't think anybody's ever actually seen that show. And before you say, Connor, that's really not that different than some of the other versions you talked about. And to that I have to say, shut up, it's fine, don't even worry about it, just don't even, shh, it's fine. For new viewers, I think this is the best version because you get to watch the original movies and also the sequel trilogy in the order they were intended to be watched in. And assuming they actually liked that, which they should have, they can then go back and watch the supplementary material now that they understand the context of the galaxy at the time. A lot of enjoyment of something like Clone Wars is knowing that it's going to end horribly, and the sense of dread that comes from knowing that everybody dies is kind of integral to the best arcs of that show. Also, you kind of need to have attachments to characters like Anakin, Obi-Wan, Han, and a few others to properly enjoy some of the spin-off material. So, for new viewers, I think this is the best. For returning viewers, if you just want to go back and rewatch everything, I would suggest chronological, because you already know what's happening, so it's not a big deal. But new viewers, my way. We'll call it the patented CJ Civ method. Slap a trademark on it, it's mine, give credit to me. Alright, I think that's about it. I just wanted to get a quick video before I start working on some other videos. Been busy last week or so I haven't had time to make anything. And I also just wanted to say my thoughts on this, because it's something I see all the time, and since my opinion is always the correct one, I thought I'd enlighten you with what I think. Alright, I think I'm just gonna end it here. See you all next time. Bye bye.